and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly, and in this video I am just going to be talking about the 2014 psychological horror film The Babadook. So for a long time now, I have really only heard good things about this film, and it's been on my to watch list for the longest time, probably like a year now. And I just have never gotten around to watch it for whatever reason. And yesterday I actually watched The Babadook for the first time, and now I kind of realize what all the hype is about. Fair warning, the following video may potentially contain spoilers, so just bear that in mind when you're watching this video. So for any of you that may not know, The Babadook is an Australian psychological horror film directed by Jennifer Kent. And this film is very unsettling. It's not a traditional horror film in the sense that it has a lot of gore or jump scares in it. It's way more subtle than that. It kind of just plays on your mind. And this film really brings up a lot of topics regarding just the human psyche in general. And the premise is pretty basic. So it's basically about this mother and son who live alone together in a house. And at the beginning of the film you learn that the mother's husband, the father of the little boy, died in a car accident, and they live alone together in this house. The son has a lot of behavioral issues and problems at school, and one night the little boy discovers a book and he wants his mother to read it to him before he goes to bed. And it's just called The Babadook, and it's this really creepy little picture book with these pop-up things. And the mother reads the little boy this book, and then it all of a sudden conjures up these dark things that start happening to him. There's this monster that plagues the two of them. But what I really want to get into in this video, and this is what I absolutely loved about The Babadook that I haven't really seen from a lot of other horror films, is it uses themes like grief and depression and mental illness, and it turns it into a horror film, and therefore it almost becomes relatable in a weird way. It obviously takes it to the extreme that with the Babadook and monsters and everything, but to a certain extent everything that happens in this movie could actually happen in real life. It just does a great job portraying in very visceral, dark imagery what mental illness and grief and depression are actually like when you suffer from them. I guess what I'm trying to say is, even though The Babadook is a horror movie, it just does it in a way where you can almost understand how a mental disorder or how depression can just plague on the human psyche and turn someone into a completely different person. And I just think that's fascinating. I think this movie did a fantastic job portraying that, but yet still kind of incorporating some horror elements as well. I also just want to quickly mention the acting in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. Essie Davis, the actress who plays the mother in this film, is just amazing. Her acting is so good, extremely believable. But there comes a turning point in this film, I'd say maybe about halfway through, where the first half of this film, you kind of feel bad for the mother. You know, she has this little kid that behaves kind of badly. He's kind of annoying, to be honest. And you feel bad for the mother, and then about halfway through this film, there's a total shift in that mindset, and you start to feel way more empathy for the little boy, and you start seeing the mother as the Babadook, as the monster who's plaguing the little boy. And it makes sense because at the start of the film, the little boy carries around the arrows with him to defend himself when he's at school because he's afraid of this monster. So you know the Babadook has already been a thing in their life at the start of the film before the mother even reads the book to the kid. And he has this obsession with monsters, and he has behavioral issues at school. It all makes sense that the Babadook is like this cyclical thing that comes about and visits them, and the kid feels like he has to defend himself, and then the Babadook will retreat and go away, and then it'll come out again. And it makes sense if the Babadook is essentially his mother's dark side coming out. To me, it's a great example of kind of how depression and grief can come in waves. That to me is what the Babadook represents. I know it could be interpreted different ways, but that's how my mind took it anyway. But yeah, I just absolutely loved The Babadook. Again, I've only seen it one time, and I feel like it's a movie that is definitely worth watching multiple times to kind of get the full gist of what it's about and what it goes into. But from my first view of this film, it's absolutely fantastic. It plays on the human psyche so well. It dives into big issues of grief and depression and mental illness, and it portrays it in a very intense way to kind of really hammer in the point of the toll that these things can take on the human mind and how they can completely transform a person into a literal monster. So yeah, for sure, let me know what your thoughts are on the Babadook down in the comments. I would love to read them. I know there's a lot of different interpretations that people have of this film. Yeah, it's definitely a movie you should check out if you haven't. I waited way too long to watch this movie, to be honest. It's absolutely fantastic. The acting's incredible. The directing is incredible. But yeah, I'm going to just end this video here. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and I'll probably be making just more little random videos like this talking about things I love, because I enjoy it, so hopefully you guys do too. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.